Today we have Ian Boxall, the president of the Agriculture Producers Association of Saskatchewan, and he is here today to tell us a little bit about the high input prices that Saskatchewan farmers are facing unprecedentedly in the year 2021, and of course a little bit this year. And so thank you so much for being with us today, Ian.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So Ian, first, tell me a little bit about why it was so expensive for farmers in 2021 and a little bit here in 2022 for them to produce a crop that year.
I think with the increased costs that we've seen in fertilizer, chemical, and seed and diesel fuel, led it to be the largest, most expensive crop that's ever been grown in Saskatchewan at $11.5 billion to put last year's crop in the ground.
With that, Ian, the expensive input costs, was that that was of course a problem, but then in 2021 your guys' crop was also quite a bit below average compared to usual. Is that been another effect into why it was so expensive as well?
2021, I don't know if that was the reason why it was expensive. Yeah, we had a drought in 2021. 2022, I think overall, besides a few pockets in the province, talking with members and producers from across the province, lots of areas had an average crop or better. So I think, and I won't discount that our market prices are good, which will offset some of these added costs. Our fear and some of the frustration from producers as to why are we seeing such huge increases in the inputs, and what happens moving forward if markets, if our commodity markets tend to slack off a little bit.
What is APAS looking to do in order to kind of help farmers offset these high prices of fertilizer and other input costs, and kind of working with either the government or your other organizations in order to make it easier for our producers across the province?
I guess first things first, we're asking why. Why are we seeing these huge increases in these inputs when the traditional triggers or traditional modeling shows that maybe they shouldn't be where they are? Hydrous ammonia is a main ingredient when it comes to nitrogen fertilizer. Sorry, natural gas is a main ingredient when it comes to nitrogen fertilizer. The price of natural gas doesn't warrant what the price of fertilizer is. The price of oil in correlation to the price of diesel fuel doesn't add up. Back in the day when oil was $140 a barrel, we paid $1 a liter for fuel. Now oil hovers around $80 a barrel and we pay $2 a liter. The correlation isn't there anymore. And it's frustrating for producers. And I guess we're just asking for the industry to, give us some reasons as to why this is happening and give us some transparency within it so that farmers can make better informed decisions on when to, secure the inputs that they need for their crop.
In terms of just, has it been these high prices? I know we kind of got into how expensive it was in 2021 and a little bit in 2022. Were these high prices seen universally across the province, or were there some places like maybe the deeper south that was feeling it a little harder in certain years compared to, say, here in Lloydminster?
There would be areas that would feel it harder just because there are some, the southwest and the west side of the province is still experiencing some drought. So those areas would really feel it harder. Yes, commodity prices are good, but their yields were still down because of the continued drought from 2019, from the past year. So I think, yeah, there are areas that would have felt it worse, but I think inputs are up for every producer in the province. They're high, and it's costs a lot of money to put the crop in the ground. And yes, it's offset this year with strong commodity prices, but what happens moving forward?
Federal government is asking for a reduction in fertilizer emissions coming in 2025. Is that going to will that help the higher prices for inputs if producers are going to have to now get more specialized fertilizer on top of the high input costs already?
I don't know how that's going to play out yet. What we'll see, whether it's coated fertilizer or how we're going to achieve that 30% emissions reduction target, that still needs to be played out. And I still think there needs to be a bunch of research done on that file to ensure that, we know where those emission savings are. But anytime you start adding something that farmers need to do to change what we currently do, it's going to have an added cost for sure.
Thank you so much for all the information today, Ian, and we hope to hear a lot of better things for our producers across Saskatchewan as the years and months go by.
Perfect. Thank you very much.